Hey guys, we're going to be looking at lesson 1.1H, linear equations and creating real-world context. So before I gave you guys a word problem and you needed to create equations. This time I'm going to give you equations and you're going to have to come up with your own word problems. Now in this lesson it's easy to take shortcuts and try and not give enough detail, but remember you need as much detail as possible to create these questions. So let's go and take a look at what I mean. So it says directions. Part of the context that matches the given expression and equation has been written for you. Finish and solve. Finish the context and solve. So right here, usually we're just going to give you this part, and it's going to basically lead you here. So it says Brady is 5 years older than his sister, blank. So looking at here, if we look at Brady's age, it's 8 plus 5. Abigail's age is 5. So no matter how old Abigail is, Brady's age is 5 years more than Abigail. So Brady is 5 years older than his sister, Abigail. If the blank of both ages is blank, what is the current age? So if the sum of both their ages is 7, what is their current age? So from here, that is what it wants you to write. So you have two people. You have Brady is 5 years older than his sister Abigail. If I add them up, so the sum of their ages is 7, how old are they? So basically what it's saying is I have Abigail's age and I have Brady's age. When I add them together, what are their ages if it adds up to 7? So same thing here now. I can combine like terms to get 2a plus 5 equals 7. Subtract 5 on both sides to get 2a is equal to 2, which means if I divide both sides 2, it'll give me Abigail's age equals 1. Now if Brady is 5 years older than Abigail, that means Brady is 1 plus 5, which is 6 years old. That's Brady's age. Alright, so now let's go ahead and look at this next one. We have 3 different pieces of information here. We have minutes spent swimming is defined by x, minutes spent running is defined by 2x, and minutes spent biking is 2x plus 3. So before we jump into the context, I want you to realize what this means. It says, this guy swims. I don't know how much he swims. So we're going to put x. Now the minutes spent running, it's twice the amount he swims. So he runs twice as long. Now biking, he spends the most time. Whatever he spends swimming, it's 30 minutes more, twice that. Okay? So let's go and look at this together, and then we'll look at this equation, what it means. Theo is training for a triathlon. He runs twice as long as he swims. So he's right there, they give you this part. He runs twice as much as he swims. He bikes 30 minutes more than twice as long he swims. So he swims, so this is that part right here. This first sentence tells me these 3 parts. Now let's look at down here. He swims 3 times a week, he runs 4 times a week, and he bikes 2 times a week. Now let's see where I got that 2 times a week. In yellow, I'm going to highlight, this is him running, this x is him swimming, this 2x is him running, this 2x plus 30 is him biking. That represents what exercises he is doing. This number in front that I underline in blue is how many times a week he does that activity. So if x represents swimming, he swims 3 times a week. If this 2x is running, he runs 4 times a week. And finally, if this 2x plus 30 is biking, that means he bikes twice a week. That's where we're able to get this 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and 2 times a week. If he spends a total of 510 minutes per week training, how many minutes does he spend on each exercise at a time? So this represents what the sentence is saying is not total, but in one time, how long does he exercise for each activity? So if I were to look at 3x plus 4 times the quantity of 2x plus 2 times the quantity of 2x plus 30 is equal to 510, all I do is solve for x here. So first I'm going to do is distribute to get 3x plus 8x plus 4x plus 60 is equal to 510. Now I'm going to combine like terms. This will give me 15x plus 60 is equal to 510. I'm going to minus 60 on both sides to get 15x is equal to 450. I'm going to divide both sides by 15 to get x equals 30. That means the amount of times he spends swimming is 30 minutes. And this is for per day. So every time he swims, it's going to be for 30 minutes. Not total in a week, but just that one day exercise. So if he spends twice the amount of time running, we're going to do 30 times 2, which is 60. And then the time amount biking, it's twice the amount of swimming, which is 60, plus an additional 30 is 90 minutes. So these are the amount of minutes that he spent. Now when you're creating this, I want you to be able to write all this. Excuse me, let me take a step back. To get full credit, I need to get these variables and equation based off everything you write. So let's go ahead and look at the next one. So it says the cost of lunch. So same idea now. It says cost of a pear is x, cost of juice is 1.5x, and the cost of a sandwich is x plus 40. So if we were to write context in order for us to get this, the cost of lunch that consists of pear, juice, and a sandwich is x plus 1.5x plus x plus $1.40 is equal to $3.50. Okay, so the cost of lunch consists of a pear juice sandwich is, maybe right here, all you really need is $3.50. Yeah, that's all you need. If you already wrote the whole equation, you don't need to erase that. But the total is $3.50. The juice is 1.5 times the cost of a pear, and the sandwich cost $1.40 more than a pear. What is the cost of each item? So now when I have this, I can combine all my like terms. X plus 1.5x plus x is 3.5x plus $1.40 is equal to $3.50. From there I would subtract $1.40 to give us $2.10 equals 3.5. So when I divide both sides by 3.5, these cancel, and I'm going to be left with x equals, that's a good time to take out our calculators, which is 2.1 divided by 3.5, and that means the cost of a pear is 60 cents. So if this is 60 cents, 1.5 of 60 is 90 cents, and 60 cents plus $1.40 is $2. Alright, so now what we're going to do, guys, on this one, we're not going to have any fill in the sentences. You're going to need to create them on your own. So it says, does the context represent the expression of the equation? Explain. Currently, Peter is 3 years more than 6 times Talon's age. So currently, we have Peter, we have Talon. So Peter is 3 years more than. Anytime you hear more than, you're going to have a plus 3 somewhere, or plus whatever the number says. 6 times Talon's age. More than 6 times Talon's age. So whatever Talon's age is, we're going to times that by 6. The sum of their ages will be 56. Oh, in 3 years, the sum of their ages will be 56. How old are they? Alright, so Talon is just T. So it's currently, this is Talon, this is Peter. It says in 3 years. So when Talon is going to be 3 years older, this is Talon. Peter is also going to be 3 years older. The sum of their ages are going to be 56. So this is what they gave us for Peter. Peter is now 3 years older. So when we add these up, I'm going to have 7t plus 9 is equal to 56. So the mistake this person made, we can see our equations don't match right here. There's a few things that they did. So the first one is Talon's age. They said it's 8 times more than, when Peter is really only 6 times. The next, it said in 3 years. They put in 4 years. So make sure you write those down. Don't just underline, but write exactly in your own words what they did wrong, what I underlined. Alright, next, if the context is not correct, edit the context. So we already did that here. We said Peter is 6t plus 3. Talon is just t. And then it said in 3 years, so that would be Talon in 3 years. And Peter in 3 years. This is a t, not a plus sign. This would add up to 56. Now in part C, I'm assuming it's going to ask us to find Talon's age. So let's go ahead and do it here. But I would like you to rewrite this in C. So let's go ahead now and look at this. I have 7t plus 9 is equal to 56. When I subtract both sides by 9, I'm going to get 7t is equal to 47. And then when I divide both sides by 7, we're going to get t equals, let's go ahead and see, 47 divided by 7 equals 6.7 years old. Now let me double check, because usually these go in together just nicely. So currently Peter is 3 years more than 6 times Talon's age. In 3 years, the sum will be 56. How old is each of the person now? Yeah, so usually you'll get an answer like, when you subtract these, something like 49. So it would be 49 divided by 7, and you get a nice clean answer. So now what I would like you guys to do is try this one. I'll get you started on this one. We're talking about 2 angles here. So I'll help you set it up with a drawing, but then I want you guys to try it out on your own. So there are certain types of angles we might have learned. Anytime you have 2 angles that add up to 90 degrees, they're called complementary angles. Oops. So this is a right angle, and I have these 2 angles that add up to 90. Therefore, these 2 angles would be considered complementary angles. This is saying the measurement of angle A represents A. It's written weird, but this stands for measurement of angle A is defined by A. So this is just saying this angle is measurement of angle A. We don't know what it is, so we're going to put the variable A. Here, this is saying measurement of angle B right here. I don't know what it is, but we're going to define it as 4A minus 5. And I know when I add these 2 angles together, it's going to add up to 90 degrees. So similar, I want you guys to write a story based off the equations. So go ahead and do your best. When you're done with this page, I want you guys to finish your homework from 1.1G as well as 1.1H. Double check the board for what the exact questions are. If you have any questions, please let me know.